Right, we're going to go into some intel. Really interesting stuff going on, and some of it, most of it actually, is positive. And there was a report out this week. The Earth has shifted, say Inuit elders, and a new warning has come to NASA from the Inuits, and they are warning that the changing in climate is not due to global warming, but rather because the Earth is shifting a bit. Now, the Inuits are local people that live in the Arctic regions of Canada, the United States, and also Greenland, and they are excellent weather forecasters, and so were their ancestors. And presently they are warning NASA that the cause of change in weather, earthquakes, etc., are not due to global warming, as the world thinks. They state that the Earth has shifted or wobbled. Their sky has changed, they said, and the elders declared that the sun rises at a different position now, not where it used to previously. They also have longer daylight now to hunt, and the sun is much higher than earlier, and it gets warmer much quickly. Other elders across the north also confirmed the same thing about the sky changing when interviewed. They also allege that the position of the sun, moon and stars have all changed, causing changes in the temperature. This also has affected the wind and is very difficult to predict the weather now, and according to them, predicting weather is necessary on Arctic. All the elders confirm that the Earth has shifted, wobbled or tilted towards the north. So this information provided by the Inuit elders has caused great concern in the NASA scientists. Well, perhaps NASA should have listened to our show a few years back then. This was something I reported on, taking place a few years ago now, and this is further proof that is working that way. This then explains the loss of ice in more common polar regions, and the ice moving to other locations. But what is unfolding is that the Earth is heading back towards being on its axis. That will stabilise weather all over the world. It will be more Mediterranean. And it'll also allow for the better flow of the source energy. Now, these next two stories are potentials of the storm that has been forecasted in the alt media. But it's also a point out to some of the hidden war work being done behind the scenes. The Pentagon ordered a department-wide pause on briefings with the incoming Democratic administration, according to multiple Joe Biden officials, questioning whether it was an innocuous holiday closure or something more serious. Acting Defense Secretary Chris Miller has allegedly ordered a total halt of all military briefings with the administration of Joe Biden, according to several senior administration officials. Now, the recently appointed Pentagon head reportedly told officials on Thursday night to cancel all scheduled transition meetings. And then this came in. Some senior Defense Department officials are pressing to formally separate the leadership of the NSA from the US Cyber Command in a move that would shift the nation's top electronic spy agency from military to civilian control. Now, the proposal under consideration was circulated amongst Pentagon officials in recent days, and it is supported by Acting Defense Secretary Christopher Miller, who was installed at the Pentagon in early November. The proposal would split control of the two giant agencies in the final weeks of the Trump administration and comes amid revelations of a suspected Russian hack of US agencies. There was no Russian hack at all. It was a restructure going on and ongoing. The official said this is preliminary, adding that a meeting was scheduled for this coming week to discuss the proposal, and many current and former officials say the partnership between the two spy entities is vital to sharing intelligence and resources. Yes, our resources. But critics have said the arrangement can lead to bureaucratic headaches. Yes, because the US has 17 such agencies when we only need 2. One for domestic and one for foreign. Now, some of the officials also believe that the two agencies have dueling missions that are in conflict with one another because Cyber Command focuses on offensive operations while the NSA's chief goal is intelligence collection. Perhaps they need more staff with intelligence to collect it then. And finally, some supporters of separation believe that the two agencies are simply too critical and vast for one leader to manage. I would keep a very close eye on those two stories. Next piece. We may see a lot more information shortly due to a major shift in the security clearance levels as of the past month. Next piece. Work was undertaken on Sunday before the event to counter any errant frequency-based moves from the dark forces arising from the conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn this week. Now, given the potentials of what could have taken place and didn't, it seems that work was successful. Work was also underway and undertaken to prevent other rogue-based events at Uluru or Ayers Rock a week to 10 days ago and ahead of the event there this week as well. They speak of Pleiadian magic boxes and it will kill billions of people as the planet tilts on its axis, and claims this will be beneficial and only the enlightened will survive the event. All very Israelite, that to me. They also were to hold a ceremony and ask people to face Uluru and then move in an anti-clockwise fashion around the rock, which is replicating the Mecca harvesting event. Anti-clockwise events like that also include the Maypole dance. It also includes witchcraft ceremonies. It is all harvesting of the energy and opening doors for the dark forces. And these so-called elders, backed and supported by the black nobility, which is why Sasha Stone was there, are a blight on humanity, and people need to stop giving these dark forces energy. From Chinese elders to down under elders to the actual elders, none are or were beneficial to humanity. Along with all the tribal elders who claim to be the 13th or 13 tribes of Israelites, all of them were corrupted in and of the Kalimar worship and sacrifice game. The question is, did it work to stop it? Well, I received this. I've just been inboxed by people that are invited to visit Uluru by the original elders and told today that the ceremony was cancelled and they were moving to a secret location. Sasha Stone was to be there. Now they've closed the borders in New South Wales, so he may be stuck here or worse, moved here. And then came an update from the ceremony people. The ceremony at the designated time was cancelled, and they were trying to move it to a different time. Except they told the world of a specific time, and it has to be specific. And so the necessary energy generated for that particular time and event was prevented. Like last year, we said we will disrupt your fake solstice ritual ceremonies, and we have. And be warned, we will continue to block or disrupt them until whilst you continue to work against humanity. There will be no Pandora boxes opening anytime soon, Pleiadian or otherwise. Apparently, the storm is coming in January, and the secret chess moves is all about to unfold. Bad guys are good guys are bad guys, and it's all a case of wait and see. But stupid people on the internet giving out plans are utter jackasses, all designed for fame, clickbait, and the look at me brigade, oblivious to the issues, consequences, and implications of outing that may cause. If Trump or anyone else does the right things, I will always support that. But if not, I will call it out. And sadly this year there have been a number of bad calls against we the people by the government and also the trustee that left me with no option but to call it out. But over and over, people are asked to blindly trust the plan, thus remaining passive and looking on to what is allegedly playing out. All these arrests may well take place, and that will be a great event should that eventually unfold, although the impact on we the people may not be as large as people think. But I'm asking our listeners to exercise caution. As we have seen and heard this way too many times, to blindly believe anything coming from the top. There's a mention of martial law, and that can work both ways. It can be beneficial to the people, but it can also be not beneficial. And so we can only act on a more overview aspect than believing what we want to believe. People, when in lockdown and not on the streets, and suddenly military people are enforcing it, has the potential to go badly wrong for we the people. We cannot just blindly trust these plans put forward, and all I'm asking for you is to exercise extreme caution. All of this reorganisation can be very beneficial to we the people as well. But yet again, there is a caveat of what they told us they would do, called decentralisation. So what can be seen as beneficial all have the potential to be really bad from the people's point of view, and that is why we have to have a balanced viewpoint. The great question remains is this a shift from the Rothschilds to the Black Sun, or a genuine cleaning of the swamp? And is the swamp selective? It is easier to believe it's all for our benefit, but we the people have been duped too often to just blindly believe. And even the trustee herself has called out Trump 4 times this year, at least to my knowledge. And my main concern is there is still no mention of the Zionist elements. Q said they would be the last. But is it the last to be dealt with or the last one standing? It's not been defined, has it? And that is why at least one show has to stay balanced in their thinking. And if Trump does all this for the people, then I will be first to hold my hand up, as well as being delighted. It has the potential to be a glorious event for all these so-called conspiracy theorists, as we are labelled, but it also has a potential to be a catastrophic event that will lead to mass culling. And the gap between the two is too wide to blindly trust in. Way too wide. None of the people at the top have ever done enough for us to earn that trust. And that is the concern.